Hi, I'm Lucy James, and I listen to the One Up Gaming podcast.
Hello, Andy. This is Colin. I won't be able to get in tonight. I'm sweating like a pig.
Right. So, still David, still One Up Gaming, still episode 394 of the One Up Gaming podcast. As always, sponsored games inspired music. They have been with us for years and years. Just buy it, stream it, use the music, and 20% of each sale will go to the Child's Play charity. So as I say, this is 394 of the One Up Game podcast. We've lumped in a load of games into this week's show because next week is going to be the birthday special where we're going through all of my favourite games. I love a lot of games. I love a lot of rubbish games, so you'll see some of the rubbish that I love. So this week we're just going to move things around. So in total there is 14 games that I played this week. So yeah, we'll just get straight into it. First up, Top Racer Collection. Now these are old school style, like Outrun sort of looking games. 2D, sprite scaler, that sort of thing. They're quite fun, they're quite nice. I always felt as though, unless it was a proper good like System 32 sort of like arcade board pushing it, the sprite scaler stuff just didn't work very well. So on Mega Drive, Amiga, those sort of machines where I think this was like an Amiga racer. I think it was originally Top Gear Racer, I think. And then because of licensing issues, they've had to change it to the Top Racer Collection. So you do get 1, 2, Top Racer 3000, I think it was called, and there's a brand new game that uses like the first engine to sort of like make a game, new levels, new tracks and stuff. So yeah, it plays alright, it looks nice. I do think that the second and third game are the better ones. I just didn't like the first game, how it was always split screen. I mean, you might be able to change it in the menu, but from what I played, the second and the third just played that little bit better. I do love this style of game, like boost, turbo, that sort of thing. And yeah, it looks nice pixelated graphics, plays well, a lot of little options, a lot of like things, collectibles and unlockables and things like that. And it's just nice that there is a collections out there like this preserving some of the old games. So there is 2 games that I'll get mixed up. So I'll just say both of them, and I'm so sorry for the pronunciations. See, I can't even get that right. So first of all, Japanese Romaji Adventure. Romaji Adventure. And Karakuri-kun, A Japanese Tale. Now both of these are really small, top-down, like Super Nintendo style Japanese RPGs. One of them is just like your average adventure sort of game, going through, doing bits and bobs. The next one, I can't remember which one it was because we're both like Japanese developers, and they just said, you don't have to do reviews, just put videos up of the games on your YouTube channel. So that's what we're doing, we're just talking about it here. But one of them, it literally was, it would be talking away to you, and then it'd mix in some bits of Japanese, and then as it was going through, it was saying, later on into the game, we will drop a lot of the English, and it'll be Japanese, and we are teaching you the basics of some sort of Japanese language. I can't remember which one it was, but I really thought it was great. Do you know what I mean? It's a game, so you're playing it, and you are filtering in that information, you're absorbing that information, and it's actually trying to teach you a new language as you're playing through. So I loved the idea. So both games look like it's the exact same engine, probably the same developers, just different stories and different sort of little bits and bobs. I would say they're good. They're on Steam. buy them, and yeah, they're not a bad little game. Not bad. So that's Japanese Romaji Adventure and Karakuri-kun, A Japanese Tale. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. I don't know what I'm talking about half the time. So next up we have Ed Zero Zombie Uprising, or Ed O Zombie Uprising, I don't know. And this one is quite a basic Souls-like sort of game, but it's like arenas. So it's like you basically spawn into like a little arena. You have to kill all the monsters in that little arena. Then a portal opens up. You go to the next little arena, and it's just that ad nauseum. I didn't think it looked very good. I didn't think it played very well. I think it was a Namco game, Bandai Namco. I don't know, but it was very, very wishy-washy to me. I wasn't impressed with the movement, with the characters, with how it all played. But you guys might love it, and it might be me that's an idiot. So next up, Paw Patrol World. And this one is, for me, it's a bad game. It just doesn't play very well. It looks funky. But if you are like a 5 to 8 year old kid and are into Paw Patrol, it is a kid-friendly Grand Theft Auto open world adventure game. So if you are a little kid and you love this sort of thing, you will probably love this game. So because of that, I can't give it a bad review, bad score, because it is a kids game. I just feel as though sometimes kids games get a pass for being a bit janky, whereas no, kids still know shite games. I mean, I used to play a lot of shite games when I was a kid. I knew they were shite, but I still played them. So I guess that's what they're hoping. But yeah, Paw Patrol World, open world. It's got like 5 or 6 pups to play as, I don't know. Each pup's got its own little vehicle to play in, and it was just weird. Not my sort of thing, but I can see where there is a market for it. One of the better games I played this week, New Star GP. Now this is like an old school flat shaded polygon sort of game, and it looks kind of like the virtual racing of the style. It's very high resolution though, you know, it's very crisp. There's no jagged lines on any of these sort of like pixels. It looked good, it played well. It's got like a full career mode, it's got all these arcade modes. It's a good game. I played it on the Switch, and I was just really, really impressed with how good the game actually was. But yes, I'd say it's one of the better games that I've played this week. So anyway, next up, Warhammer 40,000 Boltgun. Now this one is a Doom-alike, so it's just fast-paced, running around, shooty, blood and guts, pixelation everywhere. It looks amazing, and yeah, it's a great game, absolutely amazing game. If you don't have it, buy it. It's great, absolutely. Fast, fluid, smooth, not overly simple, but also not overly complex, and it just plays really well, really fluid. Good game. Next up, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, again on the Switch. I had a few Switch games on here, and I've always wanted to play this game. I don't know why. I've never been a big like puzzly sort of game, but I liked the idea. I thought it looked nice, but actually playing the game, it's a bit stilted. It's a bit, the momentum's not quite there. Moving the levels around with the sticks and stuff, it just didn't feel good. So yeah, it's an okay game. It's a 6 out of 10. Do you know what I mean? It's just it's okay to play. You can just pick it up, 10 minutes later put it down. No hard feelings. So I had a quick go at Luigi's Mansion 3, and when I say a quick go, I had a really quick go, and it just felt so slow to how I remembered the Luigi's Mansions game on the GameCube, and it just didn't have that feel, you know, whereas on the GameCube it felt a lot more snappy and the movement was really good. It just felt a lot slower. Other than that, it's almost the same sort of game. you'll get new abilities when you get into the game a bit further. But when I was playing it, the story didn't seem great. I weren't really getting pulled into it. So yeah, I wouldn't really recommend Luigi's Mansion 3. It might get so much better, but I hate the games that take an hour to get into the actual story in the game. So yeah. Next up, Star Wars Dark Forces Remaster. And this one is shock horror, a remaster of a game from 1995, 1996, that type of era. And this one is by, is it Shock Knights? Shock Dive? Someone like that, I can't remember now. And they use their own engine, and they've done a load of remakes recently. I think they did the Turok 3 and the Turok remakes. And they did the Exhumed, and I can't remember what it's called in other regions, but in the UK it was Exhumed. They did that remake, and they've been doing amazing games. And this one again is really good. I loved how it felt, how it played. I've just never played it before, and I got lost on the first level. And then I got to the top of the level where you're supposed to go to get into your ship, and I pressed every single button on the control pad, and I could not work out how to get into the ship, so I turned it off. But the first level looked amazing. It played really well. So I would say if you get past that point and you get into the game, it'll be a really, really good game. So a couple of really old games now. Shox Rally Reinvented. And this one is a proper old school arcade racer made for the PlayStation 2. Graphically is good, especially for the system and how early it was. It was from EA Sports Big label, so they were proper over-the-top arcadey, really gorgeous, colourful graphics, and it just plays really well, and I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good little game. So if you're into your old school sort of games and you haven't heard of that one, haven't played that one, Shox Rally Reinvented, really good little game, I'd recommend that. And people might not realise, but yes, I am a Newcastle United fan, and I had to play Club Football 2005 Newcastle United edition, and the gameplay itself isn't very good. The movement, the shooting, the passing just feels a bit off. Like a lot of games that aren't EA or Konami, I can't remember. ISS, Pro Evo Soccer sort of games. I don't know if it's used the sort of engine that was in the LMA Manager sort of games or not, but it looks similar, very smartened up and played. It looked a lot better. Some of the player faces are amazing, they're really freaky, and I just love the fact that you can unlock videos and player profiles and stuff. So it's all dedicated to Newcastle United. So there's like a history museum, videos and all that kind of stuff, and I was really impressed with it. So if you're a fan of, say, Celtic or Liverpool or Man United or anyone like that, then Club Football did do about 25 editions of their game exclusive with the squads and the players and stuff. So there might be one of your favourite team out there, and give it a go, see what you think. I thought it was alright. I might actually play it a bit more just to unlock some of these like unlockable things. So next up, Warhammer 40,000 Dakka Squadron, and this one is a third-person flight combat sort of game. Very arcadey, very bad graphics. It just looked really off. Now I played this on the Nintendo Switch, so that might have been a reason why it looks rather dodgy and rather bad. But the movement was okay, the controls were okay. It just didn't grab me, and I was really not into this game when I started playing it. And the last game that I played this week was Postal Brain Damaged. And this one is, if anyone knows Postal, we've interviewed the guys a few times on our show, and I'd never even knew this one was out on the Nintendo Switch. So I downloaded it thinking it'd be like a basic mini game collection or a puzzle game collection, something like that. But no. It is a full first-person shooter sort of experience. It's made in, I think it was made in Unity. Was it Unity? So it had that simple mobile-esque aesthetic to it, but the intro was bad because it was so compressed. It was so grainy and so blurry. It was amazing how they actually managed to get that released on a device. But the gameplay itself was quite fun. Very much like your basic open world first person puzzle sort of game. Collect your switch, go to another room, get a key, go back to a different room, open the doors, get a summit, and then it's got like your dogs and your people you gotta shoot and kill. And graphically it was fine for the Switch. It played well, it didn't chug. So I guess in that type of thing, that's all you need. Something to play really well and just not die. So that is the games we've been playing this week. I will say that I believe the game of the week will be New Star GP. So if you've got a PlayStation, Xbox, PC, Switch, buy it. It's a great little racer. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. And before we go, I do have to say that I managed to watch the entire final couple of seasons of The Last Ship, and I've never read the book, but I've bought the book on my Amazon Kindle, and I've also got the audio book, which is like 29 hours, so it looks as though it's a really big beefy book. So I'll give that a go, see if how it follows the scripts of the show. But throughout the 5 seasons, the first season, I'll go through a quick synopsis. The first season, the ship is sent to the Antarctic to do training and do exercises, but really it's because the Doctor has to do research and they have to get away from the population of the world to keep away, because there's a deadly virus that's killing everyone. By the end of the season, they find the cure. So season 2 is trying to give the cure to the United States, doing all that good stuff. And then season 2, it starts going into a bit more of the United States is getting rebuilt, and the people that are rebuilding it don't trust the president, and then basically it's a war between the good people and the bad people, trying to get. Some people don't believe there should be a president; they should own their own lands, and so they're trying to destabilize the president and that kind of stuff. Season 3 was more of the same. I think it was like. Oh, well, it was season 3 more like, yeah, that was again like that, but there was like the actual people who were immune to the disease. They felt as though they should rule the world, and they were trying to kill everyone and all that stuff. Season 4, they're going over to China and Japan and that sort of area, and things happen. And then season 5 is the South American, so Colombia, all those sort of things, trying to invade the US and try and take over the world. And they must have known that the series was coming to an end, because I felt as though it was a really good little ending to the show. It was very heartfelt, and I just think it was a great series and a great couple of seasons in there. First season was absolutely outstanding. It was just the fact of, oh my god, people are dead and you have no idea why. Their eyes are bleeding. What the is going on? And it was just a great show. I really enjoyed it. If you haven't heard of it, go find where you can watch The Last Ship. It's a great show, and I really enjoyed it. So thank you all. It's been me, David, One Up Gaming, episode 394 of the One Up Gaming podcast. Quick break and we're back with 10 minutes of nothing. So back in a couple of seconds.